Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and I thought to celebrate 100,000 subscribers, we would make a series of videos looking back on my aquariums then and now. You see, I keep all of my fish, for the most part, for the duration if they're in a display aquarium. And my absolute favorite fish of all time are my polypterus and lacari, or saddled bikers, which I affectionately call my big boys. So I thought we would take a look back at what their tank was like when I started this channel 3 years ago and what it looks like now, and I'm sure we'll see some pretty impressive growth and a lot of changes. So let's get started. The big boys live in a 7-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot aquarium, and it's been running now for almost 12 years. And while that may sound really, really large to a lot of you, I do have every intention of building them a bigger aquarium in the near future. Now, this aquarium gained a lot of attention, and the footage from the early days is still constantly and consistently stolen and reposted around the internet because, you see, it used to be covered with a thick film of black beard algae, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It coated every surface, and it gave it a really dark, mysterious look. Now, I know that it wasn't to everyone's tastes, but I sure loved it. And I've been working ever since it went away to regain that algae. And we'll take a look from the long side, and you'll be able to see that it's starting to colonize the back wall again. Now, this aquarium houses my 3 babies, my polypterus and lacari. They are, without a doubt, my absolute favorite fish of all time. And in fact, if I was limited to keeping just one species of fish for the rest of my hobby, it would be these guys. I love their grumpy faces. I love their the history behind them. I love how they swim. I love how they're social. And I just really adore these guys. And I've done a species spotlight on the fish in this aquarium in the past, and I'll put a link to those in the cards for you guys. But I think you guys can agree that this aquarium has gone through some significant changes, and the fish have really put on some size. You can see the algae starting to coat the back walls, and one of the reasons that I particularly like that in this aquarium is not only are these fish sort of dark and mysterious, but it provides a good visual barrier for the gars that also inhabit this aquarium. You see, they're prone to darting, and when gars dart, they dart fast. And if they were to hit the ends or the back of the aquarium, they could damage their beak or their back. So I like having that visual barrier, and I really just think it looks cool. Now, this aquarium gets water changes about twice a week of about 25 to 30%. Occasionally, I do a much larger volume one as well. And while, again, I do know that these critters need a bigger aquarium, you can see that they certainly still have plenty of turning space at the current size that they are. And I've made sure to put the decorations in a way that they can easily get around them and also have comfort and cover should they want it. They're doing right now what I call a poly pile. Which is when they sort of socially lay together, and I just think it's really, really neat. And it's why I have 6 more babies growing out in quarantine to hopefully eventually get big enough to come in with these guys. I think it would be a really incredible display. I'm going to go ahead and feed these guys for you. And I'm going to give them some jumbo krill, which is their favorite snack. They're also fed large sinking pellets as well as floating pellets, and occasionally chopped up whitefish fillets or whole market shrimp. You can see the Cuban gar right there. Now, this tank is filtered with 2 Fluval FX6s and an AC 110, and it is plumbed on the bottom of the aquarium. These guys are surface breathers, so you'll notice that I have the water line dropped a little bit, and that's because the gars also are prone to slapping at the surface as a sign of dominance. So I make sure that they're not going to hit the very thick custom lids that I had made for this aquarium to prevent the fish from jumping out. These guys are super powerful, and it's really important to have lids that are either weighted or sturdy enough that they can't push them out and jump out of the aquarium. Now, as you can see, they don't have very good vision. but they can smell very well. So they have sensed that there's some sort of food in the aquarium, and soon we'll start swimming around to find it. One of my goals for this channel and to share with you guys has always been the longevity of my aquariums, and that is of the utmost importance with this one because all of these fish are exceptionally long-lived. I've already had them for 12 years, and they could probably easily have them for another 12 or maybe even longer. So it's important to show you the evolution of this aquarium and how big these fish really get. Often when they're sold in pet stores, they're about the size of a finger, and it's hard to believe they're going to turn into these big giants. But the proof is in the pudding, and you guys can see that obviously in this aquarium. As always, thanks for your continued support. I hope you've enjoyed this look back at probably my favorite aquarium and definitely my favorite fish in the fish room. Please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I plan to look back on a lot of the aquariums in the fish room and do these sort of comparisons for you, and also share with you what I've learned over the past 3 years.